on her appearance day. Radhashtami, a day to meditate on the deepest mystery, in which mystery buried within the vast treasure of the Vedic scriptures. According to a particular person's level of spiritual awareness and their particular inclinations, Srila Vyasadeva has compiled the Vedic literature in such a way to elevate the consciousness of humanity. And there are Puranas specifically ingrained in the mode of ignorance, knowing that there is no other way to help them except to somehow try to lead them to the mode of passion. And for those in the mode of passion, to somehow lead them to the mode of goodness. And for those in the mode of goodness, to lead them to the transcendental plane. And on the transcendental plane, many seek to annihilate material miseries forever by losing their own material identity and realizing one's oneness with Brahman, with all pervading impersonal aspect of the absolute truth. And for those great yogis to understand the direct and personal connection with the Paramatma or the Lord who is situated within their hearts, there is Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Astanga Kanda, and the Upasana Kanda, the path of bhakti in which we can have direct experience of our eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose form is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss, and who is eternally enjoying pastimes with his wonderful devotees. So generally we are taught that the absolute truth is the all great supreme master of all living beings. But then Vyasadeva goes into deeper mysteries. How can go into a spontaneous loving relationship with God, considering oneself an intimate servant or a friend on an equal level, or to love the absolute truth as one's own child or as a lover? The absolute truth is one, but that one truth, Krishna, is eternally manifested in both a male and female aspect, or personalities for the purpose of exchanging love. And just as Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, is the source of all incarnation, his eternal pleasure potency, his Ladini Sakti, Srimati Radharani, is the source of all consorts and all goddesses of fortune. Srila Prabhupada explains that Srimati Radharani is the transformation of Krishna's supreme love. She is the personification of all spiritual love. And that love is so powerful that it overpowers the all-powerful or Krishna. So how to understand the natures of Srimati Radharani's love? At the 3:30 meditation also, We were reading about that unless we created pure love, it would be difficult to establish the relationship. So let's see how to understand the natures of Srimati Radharani love. To release the dormant love within our heart is only possible by the grace of the Lord's Ladini Sakti, His pleasure potency, Srimati Radharani. She holds the key that can unlock the deepest mysterious of the soul. But it is natural that which is the most rare, most inconceivable, is often misunderstood. When you go into any airlines, sometimes you see on the walls painted, Air India particularly, the Rasalila, and also there is Srimati Radharani is dancing. And people that are our tradition, Radha and Krishna, but it is a very deep subject. That is our tradition, Radha and Krishna. So many people, they know Radha and Krishna, but their understanding is very shallow. In order to understand the nature of Sri Radha, we must understand the nature of love. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami goes to great lengths to define what is spiritual love and what is the love of the gopis. A relationship based on the misconceptions that I am this body and mind, or a relationship that is based on the concern for my enjoyment, that is called calm. A relationship that is based on the knowledge of our liberated conditions, that we are eternal spirit soul beyond the ego, the intelligence and the mind, senses and the body. A relationship based on selfless, unconditional service, completely for the purpose of giving pleasure to the object of love, that is Prem. That is love, that is the nature of the soul in its relationship with Krishna. The mood of the gopi is the same, to give pleasure to Krishna. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained Jivire Swarupahai Krishnere Ranityadas, that the soul is eternal servant of Krishna, that is that inherent nature, we cannot change it. That is what it means to serve on the spiritual platform. And the gopis of Vrindavan, even the greatest sannyasi like Sukadeva Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, they have revealed to the world that the purity, the intimacy of the love of the gopi is unparalleled even in the spiritual world. Why? Because they have not even a tinge of desire for their own purposes. Their hearts, their bodies, their minds, their everything is absolutely and constantly dedicated to happiness to Krishna. We read about how the gopis dress themselves very beautifully. They put on cosmetics and fragrances, and they comb their hair and put flowers. Now in this world, so many ladies do that, and men do it in their own way also. But the gopis, they only want to look beautiful because Krishna wanted to enjoy it. It's not that they want to look beautiful. It's that they know Krishna wants to enjoy their beauty. In Chaitanya Charitamrita tells us how the gopis, they make themselves so beautiful. And when Krishna sees their beauty, his beauty increases. And due to the happiness of seeing their beauty, and when gopis see Krishna's beauty increases because of the happiness of seeing their beauty. Seeing his happiness, gopis' beauties increases even more. Because they see they are making Krishna happy by their beauty. So they want to be more beautiful and they become more beautiful. And then they become more beautiful. We can spend a lot of time repeating these words. Each gopis and Krishnas, they become more and more beautiful in their association. And it goes on for eternity. It's not just temporary. You know, sometimes we have so much love and affection, some feeling arose in our heart. But then, with the contact of this material energy, that enthusiasm vanishes very quickly in this material world. So unless and until we get the mercy of those personality who are steadfast in the devotion, like this perfection is the Srimati Radharani, it's very, very difficult. Now you may think that this must be boring, but it's not boring. It's what everybody is seeking, the reciprocation of love. Krishna's only pleasure is to giving happiness to his devotees. What a wonderful sentence to remember. That's Krishna's only pleasure is to give happiness to his devotees. And his devotees' only happiness is giving pleasure to Krishna. And the gopis have perfected that art to the excellent supreme degree. Sometimes it's asked, Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura and later to Dwarka. And the residents of Vrindavan, why did they stay there? And it's not just 1 year, 2 years, it's 100 years. Why? Why didn't they just move to Dwarka? It's not that difficult. They could be with Krishna every day. But the reason is because they wanted to give happiness to Krishna. And they knew that Krishna derived the greatest pleasure only in Vrindavan. Nowhere else does his Leela compare. And Krishna promised the gopis. What did he promise? That I will come back to enjoy Vrindavan pastime with you in the forest of Kadamba trees on the bank of Yamuna. He said, I will be back. This is where we found most pleasure. So for Krishna's pleasure, they remained there. They couldn't go anywhere else. And they remained there. And we know that beautiful story where the gopis are willing to suffer in hell for billions of years. If by doing so, they will Krishna one moment of relief from his headache. And they don't think about it. It's not that they were calculating what it would be like. Such love is impossible in this material world. And that's the reason we can never attain a pure love for Krishna in this material body. The highest platform that we can reach is above, not the prem. The gopis have completely spiritual bodies because they have absolutely no false egos. We have been reading that we should give up the pride. You know, Raghunath Das Goswami is going deeper and deeper to just convince us that unless and until we give the little things we have, we become proud. And Krishna never liked that somebody become proud. The gopis have completely spiritual bodies because they have absolutely no false ego. There is no selfishness. Everything is for Krishna. Just think about their life. You know, that they have nothing else for themselves. The amazing contradiction is when you have absolutely no concern for your own happiness, Krishna forces you to be happy. That's the secret. Otherwise, with our own effort, we will never become happy. The gopis don't want happiness. They only want Krishna's happiness. But Krishna reciprocates with that love by giving them unlimited happiness. The happiness of giving. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also explained how Daruka was fanning Krishna and he was feeling aesthetic symptoms, which was causing his limbs to tremble, and therefore he could not fan properly. So he was praying for his aesthetic symptoms to go away because it was interfering with how he could give pleasure to the Lord. What a great example. And gopis, when they are fanning Krishna or serving Krishna in so many ways, sometimes they are in such ecstasy of love that tears flood their eyes and they can see what they were doing for Krishna. Let these ecstasies go away. I don't want them. I only want Krishna's happiness. This is bhakti. As long as we are concerned with our own happiness, we can never really be happy. When we have no more concerns for our own happiness and we repose all of our energies and desire in Krishna's happiness, then definitely Krishna reciprocates and showers unlimited happiness upon us. This is the secret Srimati Radharani is teaching us. That is his selfless love. And all the gopis, the supreme most is revealed in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 10th canto, wherein under the Vansivat tree on the full moon night of Sharad season, Krishna plays his flute, the fifth note, and he specifically calls through the sun for the gopis to come. What a musician Krishna is. We hear how beautiful this flute is, and this violin and Gauravani Prabhu's beautiful voice. Whatever we are hearing from these wonderful devotional musicians, they are being empowered by Krishna because of their sincerity. But all art originate in their full perfection, in the absolute truth. Everything is based on love. When Krishna plays his flute, the intimate love of his heart manifests through his breath into the holes of the flute and is carried by the song through the atmosphere into the ears of the gopis and then directly into their hearts. And when they are conquered, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, when Krishna plays his flute, and this love of his heart is manifesting in this divine musical sound vibration, and is personally for each gopi. And when it entered into their ears, it's like a bird that makes a nest to block the ears from everything and anything else. And then that sound goes right into the heart and plunders their entire consciousness. The gopis were helpless. They left everything, their reputation, and went to see Krishna. And Krishna told them, "Go home." And the gopis were crying, "We don't want to go home. We have come here only for you." But understand, they were only saying those things because they knew that Krishna wanted them to do so. Krishna wanted to dance with them, so they were presenting so many arguments that we want to dance with you. And Krishna danced and he manifested himself in between each gopi. But then it appeared that they were all becoming proud, thinking Krishna's only with me. So he disappeared. They were going mad, totally engrossed in Krishna. If only we could have this experience, we just go on with our lives. The gopis, they were talking to each other. They were enacting Krishna's various pastimes with each other. They were asking the trees, the birds, the stars, and the moon, "Where is Sri Krishna, Nandanandan?" All to give their hearts for Krishna's pleasure. So why Sukadev Goswami never mentioned the name of young gopis in Srimad Bhagavatam? So now Sukadev Goswami, he did not mention the name of any of the young gopis in the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. He mentioned Yasoda and some of older gopis, but there is not a single gopi's name of the younger gopis of Madhurya Rasa. The reason, because the love of the gopis was so great and they give such pleasure to Krishna that if Sukadev Goswami even once speak any gopi's name, he was afraid that he would go into a trance and not be able to continue the narration. And Parikshit Maharaj was going to die in 7 days. By the time he was in 10th canto, there was only a few days left. So out of compassion, he very carefully did not speak their names. But then he comes to that point where all gopis are searching for Krishna. These are the topmost, highest, most intimate transcendentalists. Somebody has unmuted their phone. Please mute your phone if you are aware that your phone is unmuted. Thank you. Those who give the most pleasure to the Lord and those who receive the greatest degree of ecstasy from God. And amongst them, they saw the footprints of one gopi, who Krishna left everyone else to be alone with. And at that point, Sukadev Goswami, he couldn't say her name, but he almost said her name. Anarhadito Numan Bhagavan Hari Iswara. That Krishna left all of us. Govinda left all of us for this one gopi who loves and serves with greatest devotion. The greatest, the ultimate of all the devotees, and that is Srimati Radharani. All the gopis are expansion of Srimati Radharani. All love of God in every living entity's heart is part and parcel of Sri Radha's love. She is the complete unlimited reservoir of all love, and Krishna is the complete object of all love. The pastimes of Radha and Krishna are the purest form of spiritual revelation, the highest and most intimate revelations of the Absolute Truth. So, reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance, as it was spoken, that many deities of Krishna self manifested or were cowed by Krishna's grandson, Vajranabha, and the great devotees, the Goswamis, worship Radha and Krishna in the form of Krishna, knowing that in the very core of Krishna's heart is Srimati Radharani. So when they worship Krishna, their main focus is on the pleasure of Srimati Radharani as being an assistance to serve, to be a part of Radha's love for Krishna. So it was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers who so mercifully revealed Srimati Radharani super excellence even to the people of this world. And deities of Srimati Radharani began to be put along with Krishna. Krishna is all-knowing. He knows everything past, present and future. And he knows everything in everyone's heart. But there is one thing that Krishna longed to know, which is the nature of Srimati Radharani's love. So we can see how much intense loving feeling Srimati Radharani must have for Krishna that he wants to find out. The nature of his own pleasure potency. To understand the glory of Srimati Radharani's love, the sweetness he realized in experiencing his love, and what she realizes by seeing him, by tasting his quality, Krishna. To personally taste the deepest of all secrets, but also to hear that secret and give everyone and anyone without any discrimination of Sri Radharani's love. That is Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Param Karuna Pahodui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are most merciful. They have given what no other incarnation has ever given. Vasughosh, in his beautiful prayer, he cries, if Lord Gauranga had not come, who would have ever understood the glory of Radharani's love? What would be the purpose of our life? What would I live for? Lord Chaitanya and his true followers have revealed this great secret to us. And there are many beautiful pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna, which are revealed in the Puranas, in the books of the great Acharyas and Goswamis. But what is most important is to understand the spirit of the selfless service of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. Because unless we enter into that spirit, we cannot really assess the great treasure of their pastimes. We must follow in the footsteps of the gopis of Vrindavan through selfless devotional service. How Krishna, who is Ras Bihari, eternally longs to taste the sweetness of Sri Radha's love. How Krishna, who is Ras Bihari, eternally longs to taste the sweetness of Radha's love. Srila Prabhupada explained it in a very simple way. That Krishna is Madan Mohan. That means his beauty His grace will conquer even the Cupid. That means all the temptations of this material existence that are keeping us tightly bound. But see Radha Madan Mohini, which means she conquers the conqueror of the Cupid by her love. This is Vrindavan. Love is supreme. Love conquers the beloved. Sri Radha is Vrindavaneshwari. She is the eternal queen. When Sri Radha will become angry with Krishna, and she does so only for his pleasure, then Krishna will perform so many wonderful pastimes just to show his subordination to Radha's love. Sometimes he would dance like a peacock just to make her laugh. Sometimes he would place his head at her feet and wash her lotus feet with his tears just to break her anger. Sometimes Krishna will block the path of Sri Radha and the gopis to exact tax in the form of a clay pots filled with the yogurt or ghee that are on the heads. But actually what Krishna is doing is he is begging. He is begging for the love in the form of these offerings. He is dependent on the love of his devotees. That is Vrindavan. Though Krishna is Abhigna and Swarat, he is all-knowing and independent, but by his own sweet will, he becomes dependent on the love of his devotee. And that's the reason all these wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan are at the great level. Harinam Sankirtan movement is the eternal pastimes of Radha and Krishna in the spiritual world. Golo Kera Prema Dhana Harinam Sankirtana. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none different than Krishna, tasting the sweetness of Radha's love, has brought the eternal pastimes of Nam Sankirtan from the spiritual world of Vrindavan to this world, and is actually inviting us to engage in this spiritual pastime that is eternally being enacted in Goloka Vrindavan. And when we perform Nam Sankirtan with the proper selfless service attitude that our acharyas have taught, the Lord is giving us entrance into Radha and Krishna's pastimes. So mood for approaching Srimati Radharani today is as a beggar. When we come before Srimati Radharani, we are beggars. We are begging for the love that she poured for Krishna. We are begging for that grace. When she is pleased with us through our service to our Guru, service to the Vaishnavas, through our sincerity, then she could remove all the obstacle of lust and envy, and anger, and pride and greed, and illusion, and open our hearts, and reveal the deep mystery of Prema Bhakti. Radhashtami is the day when we celebrate the ultimate bestower of spiritual love. And Srila Prabhupada explained, if we are sincere, Prabhupada says that over and over in Bhagavad Gita also, that even Guru has rejected you, but if you will remain sincere, there is a hope that Krishna will deliver you. So if we are serious, if we have no ulterior motive, this is the important thing. Anything we do we have any expectation? If we have some, then that's not the pure bhakti. We should do without selfless service. Krishna can kill us, Krishna can make us laugh and dance, whatever he wishes. But we are surrendered soul at his lotus feet. And if you are serious and if you have no ulterior motive, what happened? That Srimati Radharani easily will gives that love. It is interesting that the gopis, they are just simple cowherd girls. It's not that you have to become educated and so many knowledgeable. This village girl, they have tasted the love. The gopis, they are simple cowherd girls. Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, she wanted to enter into the Rasa Leela of Krishna. She performed tapasya for thousands of years for that purpose. She left Vaikuntha, but she was not allowed to cross the Yamuna to enter into the Rasa Leela. She was given the benediction that she could see it, but in order to participate, she had to give up her love in Aishwarya Bhav. In other words, she had to give that conception that she was a queen. She had to milk cows. She had to pick up cow dung and carry it on her head. She had to go to the Yamuna and full buckets of water and carry it on her head. Sometimes long distances, do household jobs. The simplicity of Gopi's love. Even Lakshmi is longing, praying, and doing tapasya to taste. But she cannot imagine that. Who is Lakshmi Devi? She is Radharani herself in an expanded form. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his divine servant, Srila Prabhupada, is giving us you and me, all the rest of us tonight, is giving us the opportunity to all of us that even Lakshmi can't achieve. That is Radharani's mercy, manifesting through her form of Lord Chaitanya. When Srila Prabhupada was on the Jaladuta, he was praying to Srimati Radharani to empower him. And it is her grace manifesting through the Lord Chaitanya's heart. Lord Chaitanya's heart is Radharani's heart. It is her grace that empowered Srila Prabhupada to give us the greatest of all treasures, access the deepest of all mysteries, the highest essence in perfection of all spiritual knowledge. So on the Radhashtami, we express our gratitude by begging for the chance to serve, begging for the chance to chant the holy name of the Lord, to hear the glories of the Lord in the spirit in pure and selfless service. It is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, and all quarrel and all hypocrisy is due to selfish motivations. Truned api sunichena, amanina madena, kirtaniya sadahari. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's cure to Kali's influence. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us such a simple and powerful cure to all the ills and suffering of this age of Kali. If we can just chant the holy name in this humble state of mind, selfless servitude, following in the footsteps of the gopis, there can be no real quarrel. And if there is a quarrel, it's only to enhance the experience of our love. In this world, quarrel enhances our dislike, our envy, our repulsion. In the spiritual world, quarrel increases the unity of our heart by giving dynamic energy to our love for Krishna and for each other. Sometimes Lord Nityananda and Advaita would fight. They would throw rice on each other. They would call each other very bad names. And Vrindavan Das Thakur explains anyone who takes the side of two Vaishnavas who fight and offends the other, he will fall down. He explains these quarrels are simply expressions of their love for each other. Now, I don't know what it's like between husband and wife, but it's definitely not like that in this world, but on the spiritual platform where there is Trinad Api Sunichena Taro Api Sushnama Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahani, where we focus on the chanting of the holy name in this spirit of selfless, unconditional service for the pleasure of Krishna, for the pleasure of the Vaishnavas, for the pleasure of all the living beings, then that type of quarrel and hypocrisy which divide us cease to exist. Today's world is full of conflict because our hearts are so full of conflict, because we have so many ulterior motives and so many selfish desires. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimati Radharani has given us that gift to rise above all these superficial disagreements and to unite on the basis of selfless, humble servitude. And when we chant the holy name in that spirit, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained, then the entire spiritual world is relieved to us from within our hearts. So on this day, let us pray. Let us pray to Srimati Radharani with deep and genuine gratitude. And for these qualities that Srila Prabhupada has so mercifully emphasizes, to cultivate these qualities of humility, gratitude, and selfless service to Krishna as the top priority in every aspect of our lives. And let us pray that we beg for such selfless service. And as we cry out those holy names that have descended from the Goloka Vrindavan to transport us to the highest perfections. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day very nicely. And you will hear so many wonderful pastimes by the different devotees. We should observe by hearing those things slowly and slowly. Our mind and heart, which is totally polluted, this transcendental sound vibration will remove this ignorance, illusions once and for all. And then we have no ulterior motive in this life. We need to realize that this human form of life is so important. Krishna has been so kind to us that in from the lower pieces of life, by his grace, we always come to the higher stage of the life. And finally, we achieve the human form of life, in which the only business is, and if he wants to become even happy, we got the secret today, that just look for the happiness of Krishna. How can we make him happy? Give everything, your energy, your wealth, your whatever knowledge you have, whatever you have in your life, just use to give the pleasure to Krishna, whatever he likes us to do. Then we will see that Krishna will make us so happy that then this material happiness will never attract us. We will know for sure that this is nothing but illusion, and we will be situated in a very nice position to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and deliver our soul. That is the goal. We should constantly remember this. All these activities, what we are doing is totally useless. Actually, it has no real value. But if somehow or other we remain attached to the holy name to serve the deities and the Vaishnavas, our life can become totally transformed. And there is no anxiety, no suffering, no illness. Why people are getting so sick? So if we remain steadfast, then Krishna will make us more happier. This is what the Krishna's nature is, we read. He just wants to see his devotees smiling and remain happy. But the secret is we have to serve him with no deviation, no other motive, just to surrender our life to please them. And Krishna has given us this chance. We have a wonderful Guru Parampara that Krishna has found us. He has given us the Guru, He has given us the scripture, He has given us the devotees to associate with. After all this wonderful arrangement, if he still has no real interest in crossing this material existence, then what is the end of our life will come? Very bad. We will regret it. That after many, many lives I have come to the human being, I have plenty of wealth, that I don't need to work hard, but still we are chewing the truth. And that attachment we need to give up someday. Like gopis, they have no other interest or any anxiety. They just selflessly serve Krishna with the pure heart. And Krishna takes care so nicely that we cannot even take care of ourselves. You know, the happiness that we derive from these material possessions is temporary, and it also brings so many miseries in our life. So many sickness, so many people, wealthy people are becoming, I forgot that word, that, what is that? The people are becoming, anyway. But let's, on this appearance day of Srimati Radharani, let's take a notebook and try to draw the new life today and change something in our life. Even if you cannot change a whole lot, but at least change something. That from today I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna give up something, and I'm gonna do something good. At least try to do some exercise. The things which have no relations with Krishna, delete those items from your life. And those activities which can create the attachment to Krishna, increase it slowly. That's the way we will be able to achieve the goal. So thank you very much for joining every morning, and I wish you all the best, and pray to Srimati Radharani to bestow her kind mercy upon all of us, so we can remain steadfast devotee and